Okay, yeah, so just looking at that, the divinity, I meant to put it up and it was 4. So on here, you're going to get distract, yeah, and you're going to get discipline, yeah, disciple, yeah, all of those. Spirit matter is testing. It's testing. When you've unwound, like we have here, it's there to provide test for us at the same time. But even this scenario here, for this to come about, takes magnetism, yeah. For this coming together with this water, and it takes this inertia and this phi and all of that. It takes perfect incrementability to create this apex here, and that you also find that like I state within the Pythagorean pentagram, which denotes, which gives you the measurements and the dimensions and the angles and the degrees for perfect incommensurability, which is just literally telling us that we are superior and supreme, because what it does mean, it means Eugia, yeah, this is Eugia, yeah, and what this Eugia stands for, it means Hygeia, the goddess Hygeia comes from the word hygiene, as I've stated before, comes from this Eugia, which is, you've got upsilon, gamma, theta, alpha, all of those, yeah, they are really speaking about the elements, and they're speaking about the perfection that resides within it, and how we can actually attain that level of perfection, not through our health, but by accessing our soul, and by also re-tethering back to the superior aspects of nature, which is the superior forms of energy that reside within it, which take us onto superior planes of being. Now, so what I want to do here is this. Bits that I don't get and everything else, we just continue. I want to be able to do more videos. Right, this here, what we're looking at is the nano-coated copper plate. I'm not going to go, the copper plate, I'll do a different presentation on nano-coating, but we're just going to touch on it. We're touching it a bit here now. I've got some slides here. Right. So what you see here is this: the breakthrough with nano layers is the creation of the creation of this magnetic field container, right? So what I'm doing here, right, isn't something what I'm saying is like that, or somebody's saying it. That is what it is. To do this, you need this stuff, right? You need this stuff, but the stuff, it will burn. It's highly alkaline, sodium hydroxide, right? Sodium hydroxide. But we'll get there. I've just set myself up another massive bottle, right? This plasma that we're using, when people go into machines, they lose track of time, because the time, as we know, is an illusion. It's not real, yeah? And what happens is, the plasma, it ignites your soul straight away, right? So what I'm showing here is this. So the magnetic field container holds onto plasma energy and information, right? That is this field, this sheet that you're looking at here. So then it says the plasmatic magnetic fields are now able to be captured by these magnetic field containers. When it's talking about magnetic field containers, it's talking about the nano layering that we've got here, which is these here. So plasmatic magnetic fields are now able to be captured by these magnetic field containers. Fields of matching strength with the matching field gap are attracted and linked up. So it takes, to get this, what I've done here, it took me about a month. I could probably do it quicker now. A month or two to get this plate to that level. You can see the copper on it here, look. But I wasn't making copper oxide with it. I've deliberately left it all this time, yeah, so I can do this deliberately. And that's why I have left it for all this time, because I could have taken it out, but I just left it on the side. Now, these connectors here, these are controlling the flow. But you see, there's no energy coming to it, because we've energized the plate. And what we've done is we've taken the atoms on the plate and we pull the atoms to the surface, which is the energy, then what's happening is the atoms are then interacting with the environment. So this here is a magnetic field. But when to create, there's a few other. Let me see if I could just show you one or two. So I don't want to miss it. Right. So it says it's important to understand that nano layers are not two-dimensional. They're not two-dimensional. Yeah. The nano layers, they're three-dimensional. So the nano layers work in a three-dimensional, right? And that's how they work. So it's not a 2D thing. It's not a 2D thing at all because the layers are three, right? So as nano layers are three-dimensional, so are the magnetic field containers, the gaps, right? So what this is basically saying, what it's literally trying to let you know, yeah, is that when we pull these, when we energize the sheet, it creates these bubbles, right? They come up to the surface, right, which is the nano layering. What I'm speaking about is what is happening in your body as well, how you get energy drawn together. It's because of the different layers in your skin. What happens is when we pull these up, what happens is this: they spread out here, and then we have to apply voltage to them. We apply a voltage charge with a voltmeter. So this voltmeter I've got here, and then this plate I have. These are these volts that I've got here. So one's going to get attached onto here, and one will get attached onto there. I'm not going to go into this how this works in great detail. That's why I'm just skating over it. But I'm going to kind of wash the plate. What I'm going to go into is what I asked. There was a few people that did this, and it's fantastic. The amino acids in your environment, we can collect them. Yeah. So the amino acids that are in our environment that we can't see, but they interact with us on an emotional level. Like plants, they interact with us on an emotional level. Yeah. So the fields interact with us on an emotional level also. So how is that? So if I get that, I've got some other really good videos on somewhere, but I'm not going to go to me because I wasn't going to show it. But that shiny surface you can see is the amino acids. That is your CONH, which is your 22, which is your merkaba. Yeah. So those amino acids there, they interact with the amino acids. That would be in something like inside like your taurine. But that is the reason why, like I say, when they are putting this these lights out, yeah, because what these lights are then doing, these white lights and blue lights, is kind of messing them in disrupting your tethering. But as we energize, as we move to the next states, which is what I was showing here. As we wind back in, yeah, we start to be able to come outside of visible light. That is what is happening, right? When we start to do that, we start to be able to recognize that which was causing us negativity on the lower matter plane here. When you get to here, when you're here, you can't see what is causing your issue here because it is of a superior energy to you. Once you're here, yeah, once we're here, and so species, for example, which is the Ross, I'm going to be continually going about reactive oxygen species. You can't see them, and would it be in your food as well? Actually, there is Ross in the food. Even plants suffer with reactive oxygen species. Yeah, but you can't see them when you're here because you don't have the energy. When you climb to here, when you climb to here, right, to there, and you are above this now, it is very, very easy for us to be able to remove this because we have the fields that help us to do that. They don't help us to do that. They just do it anyway. They already do that. That is how they work. Even if I went to, so say for example, if I go and we have a little look at something else, what I wanted to show before I go into this box, which I will do, I want to be able to try and show something. If I'm able to do it, we will do. Yeah, so here we go. So if we look at this here.
So I was digging around a client's house the other day and I found this.
Now this is Tesla used to carry this around with him. Right? Used to carry one of these around with him. Right? And in the end, when they put it out, they had to put it out under a guy's name called Paul Auden, I believe, because excuse me, because of the way people were seeing Tesla in the press, the way they perceive it, the way they perceive. When you are working with true transcendental eyes, it's to the mind that is operating on less energy. It means that they are closer towards acidity. They find that talk, that transcendental talk, which is connected to this ORP here, yeah, and this high ORP reading, they find it to be threatening to them, toxic, because they confuse ignorance, that knowledge for ignorance, and vice versa. So imagine this that you're going to see now is a real plasma device from the 1920, from before the 19, since 1920 there, and before that.
It's a piece of New Age medical equipment from 1926. It has a very unassuming briefcase. It's wood. But when you open it up, you see all of these really weird glass implements. There's 7 altogether. And then down here, there is I guess you would call it a transformer.
7.
This controls the power switch. This controls the intensity of the electricity. And there's a long wire that's connected to this application wand. And I promise it's not what it looks like. It comes with these 2 instruction manuals. As you can see, it's called the Renew Life Violet Ray Health Generator. One booklet is dated 1923, the other one's dated 1926, but this booklet has information about how to treat various ailments. It's very East Asian inspired as far as, treating various areas by applying.
See, the reason it's saying the nerves, it's all magnetism. Everything coming from 96, electromagnetic mountain, which is EM, which is 9, everything coming from there is being directed by magnetism, connected to the emotions. And that's why this is working in this way.
Electricity to different nerves along the back. But let me see, where's it at? Okay, so here, directions for treating everything from abscesses all the way...
heart disease.
...to writer's cramp. Yes, very interesting. So anyway, I'll get this baby plugged up, and I'll be back in a second to show you what it does. Okay, so I've got this baby plugged in. One of the implements I've put into this applicator, you'll notice that I'm holding it with a rubber mat. I've got the lights down because you'll be able to see this thing glow a very pretty purple, and that's why it's called the quote-unquote violet ray health generator, whatever. All right, so when I turn this on, you'll notice that it has a loud humming noise, and hopefully my phone doesn't start acting up again. So there it is. There's the very pretty purple color. I'm going to try to see if you can see the little bolts. There you go.
Bolts. See?
That comes off of this thing. It doesn't really hurt unless you hold it in one spot for, long. But that's basically what it is. It's a 1920s brand of New Age Electrotherapy, and actually everything that I can find about this, at least according to legend, it's associated with Nikola Tesla, the early 20th century inventor.
Right, so that I've just shown you there, that is plasma. Now, it's amazing to think where we are at now, You could spend probably, I don't know, some ridiculous amount of money. You could get yourself fibroblast treatment like that, and it will take away all your wrinkles, etc. Because what it will do, it will use the gases in the air and the voltage in the air, also, and the plasma, to remove the species and the oxidation that is causing your wrinkles and your aging. That is what plasma does. So you can see. So when we're speaking about all of this, all of this with the copper, this is a magnetic field. They know this was known and was already previously happening. Magnetism was always already there. Which we're going to see on these boards. And the ether, working with the ether, as a water, a Pythagorean pentagram shows us that working with the ether, opens up endless doors for us as souls, that souls that have avatars, the avatars that reside within an imperfect state. The more we rely upon density, the more we rely upon matter, and the more that we don't look into nature and her superior aspects, the more that we don't action the self instead of the external, the more we suffer this imperfect state, which is working with matter elements. Even in the health community and so forth, you're only working with matter elements. They are designed, they are imperfect. This, what you're working with here, is a superior energy to you, what you are, to your body, but not a superior energy to your soul. So it is a food for your soul, and it contains a much superior energetic force compared to what you can generate from out of your own body. Yes, that is how it is, because it's coming from within the atmosphere, which is you are the same in quality but not quantity. And that's why these numbers, they have a quality within them as well. So I wanted to, these plates are so, you can't mess with them. You can't touch them anyway. If I touch this copper plate, this nano coated plate here, then it doesn't look as dark as some of the other plates, like the one that you can buy from here that I'm going to show you how to make in a minute. But it's real deal. So I did this myself, so I could create a much larger plasma, and I was able to do that, which was this one here. This one here is a much larger plasma. This, what you're looking at, it will not disappear. It will just stay here like this all the time. And when I drink it, it goes straight into the heart. And what it does, you can feel it like lightning, goes all the way through my body, and it puts me in samadhi. It puts me in a blissful, ecstatic, meditative state. What I had to do previously with other practices, Asia and so forth, because I use these practices for my deep meditation practice, for me to go on astral, I charge my voltage first, and then I speak to my soul. And I've been doing that for a long time. And then now, as I've been able to do that, it has been increasing as we've been going. But now, I've met, this is it. This is it. When you don't eat, you don't need to eat. The plant, which we're going to see, is a superior being, a very, very, very advanced superior being is what the plant is. It is exactly that. And for that reason, we are working with the same food that the plant uses. That is what we are using and what we are working with. Same as the plant, no different. Right. And the gentleman that did was Clive Baxter, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. I'm just going to pause that on there because I've got it here. So I'll put some water in here deliberately, because what I'm going to do now is wash this plate in this water. But I'm going to reuse the plate. I'm going to constantly I'm going to reuse the plate. I'm not going to make I'm going to make another plate. Like, for example, I've got other plates here, So this is another plate, Look, it's not like that one, is it? I'm going to nano coat this one, You're turning this into a plasma device. Yeah. And you are making it the same strength as the carbon. And we are using number to do this. The vibration of number to pull in the ether. Yeah. That is what we are using to do it. Because what we're using, yeah, is this. I just had it back up. I'm going to get it back up again. Here we go. What we're using is this here. Right. Why do we use these plates? Right. Atomic mass. We're using the zinc plate, which is the zinc plate here. Yeah. There's the zinc plate. You can see that it's been generating energy, massive energy. Yeah. And we're using the copper plate. The copper plate is 63. Yeah. So what happens is this. The nano copper is 59. So it's dropping, the atomic mass drops once it's nano coppered. Yeah. Once you put nano to it, once you energize it. We have now created a gravitational field strength of 6. You see? The 6. Because we're talking about sex here. Carbon, yeah, has 6 neutrons, 6 protons, and 6 electrons. We need 50% of the field, which is 6 neutrons, to attract the rest. There is also a portion of graphene carbon on the layers of the nano coating, which gives plasmatic energy of carbon. In summary, we are creating and dictating an environment between the 2 plates of carbon. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're creating, yeah, an environment that matches the carbon matches the fields of carbon within the atmosphere. Yeah. Not just carbon, but the fields of carbon within the atmosphere. Yeah. Now, then what I'm going to take, what I'll end up doing is I'll take this down. I'm going to end up taking this down. Yeah, and then what I'll do is I've got to be really gentle and careful because you can't knock the plates. When I do other presentations going forward, when we get a little bit further on, once people start using this, and you go, oh, right, amazing, can't believe it. This is going to happen. Right? What will happen after that is once you've got these plates here, it's just the easiest way of doing it. Easiest way of doing it. Imagine we're going to be able to do this with next to nothing. You don't even need anything to do it. But this plasma is already incoming. It's already drastically incoming. Yeah. So what's happening? What we're doing then is once we match the field strength of the carbon, we're now able to interact with it. But we are using a copper plate and a zinc plate. Now what's going to happen is you have one plate here. We have another one. This is from a different plasma that I've created. I've done quite a few of these. I've done quite loads. I've done a lot of them now. Now all that I'm going to do now, yeah, is I'm then going to take. I'm going to take one of these here, yeah. But I haven't got a light bulb in these ones. I use big ones deliberately. I like to use these big ones. So what I'll do is this. I'll take this and I'll put a bulb in it. The bulb, this is, you can get these from a car DIY store. Alfred's they call it over here. So then I put a bulb in there like you can see here. Yeah, and then what I'll do is I would create a positive and a negative charge, a flow of that, because I'm going to attach this red wire to this zinc plate here, and then I'm going to attach this copper plate there. So what's happening is I've got a 3-way trinity going on here. Look, see, I've attached the red wire to the copper plate, to the zinc plate, sorry, and the black wire, the negative charge, yeah, that's going to the nano coated plate. These plates, I bought them for about 25 quid or £25 or something like that. Nothing major. The next step is when you start creating your own full on, and then you'll get a lot more plasma. Yeah. But this is what's actually happening. So then, and then what you need to do then is if you get this same salt, I would use the same one as I've got. Take a screenshot of that. I'd use that one if I was you, because this one works. Right, and then you're then going to create the right mixture that you need, because you see this is written within Sumerian text. There's 7 sages, but to get here there's 2 waters. There's there's an absu, there's a salt water, yeah, and there's just the normal plain waters, right? And it's telling you that you see these salt waters, these salts, yeah, they are intertwined, because what happens is within the atmosphere we are surrounded by water, but we can't see it. There is an invisible vapor, and vapor equates to 9. Yeah, there's an invisible vapor that sits within the atmosphere, but the vapor is now charged. Yeah, so what happens is there is oxygen and nitrogen, yeah, in the environment as the gases that are in that, and that is what gives us the different colours that we're starting to see now. The fields of oxygen and the fields of nitrogen, and the different fields create the different colours. The oxygen and the nitrogen creates the purple, but there's other fields creating different colours that are incoming that we are able to see. Yeah, can you see in the box here? You could just see there was plasma. So I just dropped them there now. You could see them. This is seriously powerful stuff, right? It is no joke. That stuff there, you can't get it off. I could have scrubbed it, but it's very hard to get off. But we don't mess with the dry plasma at all. You don't mess with it. It's very, very powerful. You don't have anything to do with the gases, the GANs that you pull out to the environment. You only what they do is they leave impressions of energy signature of plasma in the water, which when you drink it, you can feel a heat straight away. You can feel a heat instantly. To get sonoluminescence, to get light out of water, the water has to be at 22 degrees, which it's crazy. It's, you couldn't put it in the book. So that's that. Now I'm going to take this off here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it flat to submerge inside of that water. That's what I'll do. But here, what will happen here is that you will put like, I don't know, 2 liters of distilled water, and then if you wanted, so say 70 ml of the salt waters straight in, you put your connectors on, yeah, and then you this is hot. It's easier like you should just buy this and you put these in. Somebody just do it. A few people that I know that are doing it. You do it and you will see, yeah, right, and it will change your life again. You will accelerate again to a new level, yeah, because now I am waking up, and then I am injecting my heart with soul energy, with a superior forces that reside outside this place, which is meaning that I'm able to feel. You cannot describe, because it balances your nervous system straight away, and it gives you what you are not getting. How does it give you what you are not? How does it work? Right. Some of the ways in which it works, some of the functions of it are like this. So you see here, this is field absorption, right? Extrapolate the same knowledge into the pores, the same knowledge into pores, into holes, into the strands of the nano layer of the bone. The bone has different structures. It's like little holes, you can see them. And this hiatus, yeah, the hiatus semilunaris, yeah, is also the same actually, yeah. It also has the it is also containing these holes, yeah, the holes. And what these holes do, what they do is there's this thicker holes, but then there's this another set of thinner holes, and they are deliberately there to pull in the fields. So for example, here, I've been speaking a lot about the phosphates lately as well. Then you can understand how in the same structure you extract phosphor from the lymph. Why you extract all the necessary amino acids from the lymph, and once they come into the bone marrow, they become the T cells and B cells. The conversion is done due to all these different podocytes and holes in the nanostructure and in the total structure of the bone. Example, phosphor. There is no phosphor coming through the lymph. It's going through the holes and just appearing in the bone marrow. The energy of the phosphor is transferred through the walls of the intestines into the lymph structure, this energy of phosphor, when it matches the gravitational field, when it matches the gravitational magnetic field within the nano porosity layers of the bone, it will manifest itself. So what happens is it pulls the fields through, yeah, and it's pulling them through your bones. So you see here, when you cut a cross section of the bone and look at the upper structure of it, you will see different kinds of strands and different kind of holes. Yeah. When we look at the structure of the bone, the central part to the upper part of the central part, the inner part is mainly tuned to absorb the minerals. When you move to the outer layers, the structure is set to attract, due to its gravitational magnetic field, the lighter materials. So you can see it's going to pull the heavy materials in here, but then it's going to pull the lighter materials in here. Because each atom then, each cell, it contains fields. It's like you have your nucleus and they have the electron on the outside. The gap in between contains pure fields. So what's actually happening is it's letting the fields come through. But that is it lets the fields come through, and then the different nano layerings, they match what they do is these different layers that match this field strength of different fields, and then the body uses the different fields to command and do what it needs to do. It is only the gases in the foods that you're eating that is giving you the energy that you require to move, which is called Vril. But it's been occult. But what's happened is that knowledge has been occulted from us. Okay. Why does nature create layers? Layers in the body create interaction of fields. We can also describe the layers as filters, because different fields layers will only allow certain fields to pass through. So it only lets certain fields pass through, the fields that need to, do you know what I mean? It's only going to let the fields through that the body is requiring, that it needs to create the balance that it needs. But the balance, we don't even realize the balance that the body needs, because in the matter state, the body is constantly fighting. It's constantly fighting the matter in which that we are consuming, because the matter we are consuming doesn't contain enough gases, plasma gases within it. Yeah. So then here you can see a flower, a tree. Right. We are causing way more harm than the plant, and that is why the plant is feeding off of orgasmic joy. This is like fairy wonderland stuff. You just have to drink it. You have to use it, and you'll see it for yourself. It will give you whatever you need it to give you. Yeah, it will mean that your emotional state will rise drastically. Wherever you are at, it will accelerate what you're doing. And this is what's happening with the fields. They are reactors. The leaves on the fields are reactors. That's why different trees look different. They always look different. That's why certain cacti look like they don't even survive off anything. It's an illusion that makes us feel like they're surviving from the soil, but they're not. It's this divergence and convergence of the field flow, and then they interact with the fields and pull in the light, because the CO2 is connected to light. Yeah, and that's what it does. So that's how that works. So then what they do is they then pull those fields in. Yeah, there was a lot that have got going on here, so we may not get all this in, but I wanted to show you a little bit of this. Bits of it, I haven't got any particular bit, but I'm just going to put a bit of it on.
Activate the chart drive on the equipment and turn up the sensitivity and balance in the plant between these electrodes. Now, the tracing we're getting now represents the plant. Right now I'm going to take a scalpel and try to get underneath the skin level of my hand, see if the pain first of cutting causes any change in the plant.
It is an experiment Baxter has performed many times. By inflicting pain on himself, he hopes to register some reaction in the plant. It is proof, Baxter feels, of perception on an elemental level. All living things, he believes, react to the pain of another. For whatever reason, the experiment fails. Perhaps Baxter has performed it too often.
his reaction may not have been genuine. Baxter now tries the experiment with In Search of staff member Kay Hoffman.
I'm going to bounce this in and turn it to automatic through in this case. And let it quiet down.
He calibrates the machine, this time in hope of achieving a response from the plant to the cutting of Kay's hand with a scalpel.
You got a hand just there? Right here? All right. Now, what I'm going to do is just to cut a little bit here. When you feel this, the thing that was going fairly calm is now going pretty well. Now, I think the plant is tuned into your apprehension pretty nicely. Now, let's see if it's tuned into this. Now, I'm going to put some iodine in there.
This time, the results were positive. The plant has reacted in some way. Baxter can only conclude that it is a reaction to the pain felt by another living thing.
All right, now, let me take a look at this with you. This is sort of interesting because through here we were doing nothing that related to this, and then we decided to ask you if you would sit down and let us cut your hand. And right here is where you had the invitation to sit down and your apprehension of doing so. And here's where I'm starting the cutting. And actually, your apprehension is worse than my putting the iodine in, which apparently didn't hurt too much. In fact, the thing quieted down.
So on that one there, you can see there's a lot of different experiments because this it goes all the way through it, and you'll see there's just a lot. Even does it with bacteria in the yogurt, yeah. Because and this is how lately with plasma, blue ear disease, a lot of these viruses, blue ear virus, a lot of these swine flus and all these sort of things, we get rid of them with plasma. Gets rid of them because it's a bacteria or virus, which is your IRs, yeah, bacteria, ER, yeah, and because of that, they look like this, yeah. But they're not the same as the plant or the animal cell, yeah. But you see, you got your cytoplasm, but they can be disrupted easily by fields because fields contain much more energy than other things do, than other elements in a matter state. Fields contain a lot more energy, which means that because they contain much more energy, they're able to see a lot more. They're able to do a lot more, and they're able to transmute into elements that have a lot less power than what they do, which makes perfect sense.
You get about a 15 or 20 second delay, and then this is the kind of activity you get here.
So you can see here he's reading the emotion of the plant.
Well, what I suspect is going on is that this yogurt is being fed the nutrient, and the other yogurt is trying to.
So even with that one there, what they're doing is they were feeding it a yogurt. But he had he had a dream. He had a dream, and from that dream that he had, the elementals were speaking to him in the dream, and through that was what made him realise that that these plants were alive. If anybody wants to see that, or you can see it yourself. It's fantastic. But then one of the main experiments, one of the main things with that was the one with the 6 people. Yeah, because with these, the plant was able to remember who it was that killed its partner, and that's why you see here. Yeah, according to this particular scientist, look, you see, there's the 40 days. There's the 40 days right there. So just on that one here, yeah. You've got the nano-coated plate that you can buy. I'll put it on the YouTube channel, the link to get that. And you get these 2 plates together. And then obviously then all you're doing at this stage, you will get a small amount, but you'll get enough. Like when I was using these smaller ones, look at I've had this. I should have put the date on it. I should put date on this. This has been going. You see the writings like it's worn and stuff. This was I first shown you this. I shown this in July. in July, and it's now going to January. And do you know something? It is not even. It's still the same. Still the same. Still the same. And it's so that is giving me energy, joy, acceleration, everything, right? And it's not going anywhere. It's just I'm just going to continually keep pulling it out of the air.